You know what I should do? What if I like make a new scene? So I can just have like this stuff. I don't need the comments. I don't need any of this like TV stuff. Hold on. What we're gonna be doing today is we're going to be doing something I've not done in a long time. We're going to be reading some creepypastas. I haven't really done this in a while because I kind of ran out of stuff to do, but it's been a couple months. There's gotta be some new stuff, right? There's gotta be like something new. But also, I just thought, short form content, I kind of like it. I like editing. I haven't not done it in a while. So let's check out what we have. I'm going to start off with Lost Episode Creepypasta Wiki. Category SpongeBob and category Death. Let's just go to like the actual like website. I can fix this. Amazing. I already read that. Hamuda Habibi. We're going to Hamuda Habibi and then maybe Derpy Toys. That's like that one like Arabic thing or whatever, right? They have a picture of him here? No, there's no pictures. Is this a troll pasta? Okay, we might be in for something good here. Is that Azumanga Dayo? Right, so Hamuda Habibi. Strange videos. These are usually made with the goal to make the viewer uncomfortable. They are mostly made by beginner animators or by big companies for some advertising campaign. But what happens when the intentions of the video, like that, are something beyond an obscure art project? A few months ago, I remember browsing Facebook as I usually do when I'm bored, watching whatever was on my homepage. Preparing desserts, cute animals, memes, typical Facebook homepage. As I scrolled, a video popped up. It was an animation of a short boy dancing and clapping to an Arabic song about a boy named Hamoud. I checked the comments. People were amused by the animation and were leaving those weird face emojis. Okay, which one though? Which weird face emojis? Are we talking like an actual emoji? Or are we talking like, are they putting down like Lenny faces? Like what are we talking about here? But for me, I felt a type of strange panic. When I was only 9, my mother had bought a DVD disc which contained various foreign nursery rhymes with music videos. It's like one of those shitty Baby Einstein CDs if it included music videos. It couldn't have costed more than $5. I remember that some of the last songs were shit like SpongeBob, which wasn't foreign for some reason. These were some of my only forms of entertainment, considering I had no internet in my house for a long time during this. What do you mean during this? Like during what? During you being a child? But I remember distinctly running up to the DVD player, removing it before the SpongeBob song went to the next video. Because that video had scared me horribly as a child. But seeing the Facebook video that day, I'd finally faced my fears. And it was f***ing stupid. It was the same animation of the kid dancing and singing about Hamoud, although it was in terrible quality. Actually, I don't know if my fears had faded. I was just kind of paranoid considering I was scared by it for the longest time. But I'm an adult, so it didn't make me cry or any dumb shit like that. Just calm down, dude. You don't need to be swearing so much, man. Come on, we're talking about Hamuda Habibi. Just calm down a little bit. But it gave me some type of fear, no matter how hilarious or terrifying it was. Still. Wait, it was still... that seems weird. You can't blame me for not really reading that properly. That's just weirdly written. But I noticed all of these videos I had seen were in poor quality. Even though the video I saw earlier was in better quality, at least it wasn't perfect. Yeah, the sentence writing is kind of weird here. The thing is, I'm kind of confused about, like, just give my thoughts, like, right away. He's gonna need to explain why this is scary. Assuming this isn't a troll pasta. Like, you can't just say, this scared me as a kid, because he's not talking about it like, something scared me, I don't remember what it was. He just said something about this was scary, and he's not saying, like, this was some repressed memory. He just seems like, oh yeah, I just didn't like that video. It's like, okay, why? There's nothing, the video, like, I can pull up, like a GIF or something of it, or whatever. There's nothing scary about the video. Nothing even like slightly unnerving about the video. It's just a kid dancing. You don't really get I don't get any strong emotions from it. So to assume that the reader's going in thinking this is creepy is like, a bit much. Maybe they'll answer it. Who knows? Maybe they'll answer. We're only like so far into the story. So I set a goal. At the end of the upcoming holiday, that is only tomorrow, I would have gotten the video in high quality. That's right. It's not like I had a social life. I do things during vacations other than visit my mother. To be fair, it's practically lost media, and it's good to archive the lost. I decided I would visit her to try to find the DVD. The next morning, I woke up and quickly got dressed and left to the bus station. One of the drawbacks of my mother's house is the lack of internet. Like, still? I don't understand if it was like, yeah, when I was a kid, like maybe like 20 or something years ago, maybe like early 2000s, early 1990s. But you'd think they'd have internet now. Like everywhere has internet now. I lived through this when I was younger by watching movies. I had seen it a million times already in the afternoon. At this point, you may be wondering why I'm telling you about my boring life. Well, I have a reason, which is the key to the Hamoud investigation. When I got to my mother's house, I went into my old room. She has kept my room intact ever since I moved out so that when I visit, I had a place to stay. On Saturday, I decided to look through my room's huge DVD collection. As I was looking through, I saw something that caught my eye. Is my tracking even working? Because I'm kind of like looking at it from a weird angle. Oh, I'm like covering up so much of the screen. I don't think I need to be this big. I had found the DVD with children's videos on it. This is the same disc that the Hamoud video came from. At that moment, I was excited to see Hamoud in better quality, and I could upload it to YouTube and get easy views. I put the disc in my backpack and drove back home. But the disc was quite damaged. In some parts, the song or video would get stuck. It would show deterioration or pink screens or unbearable beeps. The video of SpongeBob singing started playing, and I was extremely excited for Hamoud, the next video on the disc. To my surprise and disappointment, the video was the most corrupted out of all the videos on the disc. Except for one final part, the credits at the end. It was a link to what seemed to be a blog. I quickly took a screenshot. I thought this link would have more information on Hamoud. Why specifically Hamoud? Like, if you assume that they just stole everything and just put it on a DVD, why would they have more information about one specific thing? Who he is, or why the animation was made. It was obvious because the link had the name Hamoud in it. When I entered the link, I noticed the blog was completely in Arabic. It seemed like it had journal entries or something like that. I tried to investigate what the page contained. There wasn't much. Wait, hold on. Another question. Objection! How is he doing this if the house he's in currently has really bad Wi-Fi? I thought he specified earlier on there's like no internet here. And now he's on the internet? What was the point of saying, like repeatedly saying, the internet in the house is really poor? Because he said it's still poor. Did I read that wrong? One of the drawbacks of my mother's house is the lack of internet. He didn't say the problem was the lack of internet. He said the problem is the lack of internet, as in there's still no internet. Why include that if you're going to have a plot point that requires him to go on the internet? I started to investigate what the page contained. There wasn't much, but I realized that you could see the writer of the blogs. This blog was said to be written by none other than Hamoud Habibi. That didn't really give me any clue though. Going into the blogger profile, personal data was shown, including a name written in Arabic. I assumed that at this point, I would have to translate it with Google. I'm not that good with English as I am from Mexico, so I have to translate a few words. Using Google Translate, I found out the creator of this blog was Iris Anbar, and her email, which I assume is inactive, was also listed. But I do not want to make it public for reasons I will explain later. This was becoming more and more confusing. I thought this was simply a children's animated video, but no, this was something beyond that. It had a dark undertone, and I needed to figure out what it was all about. I saved the page in my favorites and began to translate each post written by Iris Anbar. Sorry if some parts are wrong. I tried my best with what I tried to. How would I know if they're wrong or not? You'd have to like show the source material for anyone to be able to know if the translations are accurate or inaccurate. Otherwise, you have nothing to compare it to. It's just like, yeah, I don't know. How would I know if you translated it wrong? I don't know what the original was. These last few months went by very well. It was about to happen. I was going to have my first son, Hamoud. My dear Hamoud was going to be born. But God is evil. God plays with his creations. He took my son, my dear Hamoud, away. Wake up. Please wake up, Hamoud. Don't let God take you from my arms. Wake up. I want you with me, my dear Hamoud. God, don't take you from my arms, Hamoud. I will fight for you to wake up again and for us to be together forever. Part 2. Wake up, Hamoud. My husband left me, alone forever. If I don't have children, I won't be a good woman. I'm all alone, without my Hamoud, without any company. I cannot trust God anymore. I can't go a minute without thinking about my dear Hamoud. I will wake him up, and no one is going to stop me. Hamoud will wake up. I will ask the King of Darkness to revive my son. This is what I will do. Hamoud will wake up. Part 3. Awakening. It's time Hamoud will wake from his sleep. The King of Darkness will come out and help me not to die of loneliness. Hamoud, wake up. Wake up, my dear. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. This is what I say. The devil wants something in exchange for me having Hamoud by my side. I will do anything for Hamoud. I will make Hamoud wake up. Part 4. Hamoud Forever. The day has arrived. The Hamoud boy will wake up. Negotiating with Satan, we have arranged a good deal. I no longer have a reason to exist. I have no money and my home is about to be taken away. I have dedicated myself to Hamoud. I dedicated everything to him because he is all I had. It was time. It was time for Hamoud to be reborn. It was a beautiful night, with the brightness of the moon illuminating what would be my son. My dead Hamoud! The King of Darkness revived Hamoud under the condition that I go with him to the underworld. The perfect idea. Wait, hold on a second. I will be with Hamoud, my dear Hamoud. He finally woke up. My dear Hamoud is awake at last. Oh, Hamoud, you are so beautiful. You look so alive. So your entire thing is you want to be with your son again. And the deal is you can only revive your son if you are dragged down to hell. So you won't be with your son anymore. Your son can be on earth, but you're going to be in hell. So you don't get reunited with your son. Like maybe like a brief period of time you're going to say hello before I get dragged to hell, but that's not a perfect deal. That's like the worst possible deal. Usually the idea is like, these demonic pacts are supposed to at least kind of seem good on the surface, right? Like, yeah, he'll be back with you, but you must feed him blood or something like that. You must make sure to feed him well, and it turns out he needs blood or something like that. Not like, yeah, your son goes to Earth and he'll just be alone there and you'll be in hell. You won't be able to see him. So what's the point? That's a terrible deal. I remember every clap, every jump from you. It's time to leave, son. We will live happily. We will always live together, my dear Hamoud. At this point, I had no idea what to think. It seemed like some kind of joke made in very bad taste. How would a woman ever write from the underworld? That too, that's a good point too. How is she writing from hell? I didn't even think about that. Thanks for pointing out that really big plot hole, narrator of the story. The fact that there was a blog telling a supposed story of a grieving mother didn't mean anything. My mind wanted me to believe it was just a joke, or a fantasy of a mother wanting her child back. I thought about investigating at that moment, but I was very tired, and I thought I had seen everything. When I left the last post, I noticed a post more recent than the rest, posted on March 7th, 2006. It was titled Hamoud, and a video was attached. After watching the video, I had lost sleep that night. The video began with a shot showing the night sky with a full moon. The camera panned down and showed something on the floor, something very disgusting. A human fetus in a serious state of decomposition, illuminated by moonlight. It had a small amount of hair on its head, bloodshot eyes, and a wrinkled green shirt. At this moment I realized, this was Hamoud. At this moment, I was incredibly disgusted and had a sense of fear, very similar to the dancing animation. The mother tried to stand up to the feet. Wait, there was a wait, where'd the mother come from? Which mother? You didn't say there was a mother before. The mother tried to stand up the fetus, playing with it like a doll, and she began to sing a song. It was the same song that was in Hamoud's animation. Watching this video gave me lots of emotions I could not understand. Terror, anguish, loneliness, disgust. It was so much for me to see the demonized fetus being played with like a doll. To see the mother clap the hands together, making the limbs bleed slightly. Of all the paranormal experiences I have experienced, this was undoubtedly the most terrifying and disgusting. The video ended and I had terrible chills. I wanted to cry. I felt like vomiting. That night was terrible. I could barely sleep, and I got up in the middle of the night a few times and cried. I didn't know if it was because of my attempt to relive my childhood trauma, or because Hamoud was nothing more than a fucking demonized, decomposing fetus which my mind couldn't process. There are innocent things that hide some very dark behind them. Believe me, it's better to see them as a joke, something innocent or something comical, rather than what they truly are. If you want to see what is behind your childhood trauma, keep in mind that you could damage your mental health this way. So, at a certain point, like halfway through this story, I kind of came up with like a mental theory that this was going to end with the main character, like the way this was going to go. I thought was the main character was going to watch the video again, and it was gonna be like, oh, well, usually the video you see online ends, like at this point, but if you watch the version on the DVD, it goes beyond that and has a bunch of spooky stuff in there. And then the main character was going to be like, oh yeah, that's why I was scared of this video as a kid, was because of that part. And I was like, I forgot it. I blocked out that memory because it was so disturbing. And like he freaks out and he smashes the DVD and he's like, "That's why I couldn't show you the DVD. Couldn't show you the original video because it was too disturbing. I broke it because it made me have a PTSD panic attack." And it was gonna end with like a line about, like earlier he said it's good to uncover lost things. I thought it was gonna end with a line like, "Maybe some lost things should stay lost." No, I was thinking like, yeah, it's gonna go with that, and that's a terrible way to end a story. I'm a huge uh, hater, I guess you would say, of having stories where a person just freaks out and destroys evidence. Like, oh yeah, I have like the ability to capture and prove this story is true, but I freaked out and destroyed it. I think it would only make sense if you write like some sort of reason as to why they have to do it to save their lives. Like, I don't know, like the video is like cursed and is trying to kill them. Then like, yeah, destroy it. But if it's like, just I got a little spooked and I smashed it, then that would have been pissed. To be fair, this story does not have the main character smashing anything. But then that leads to the problem of, okay then, buddy, why didn't you give the URL, or why didn't you like rip? I guess the reason why I didn't rip the video is because the video in the actual on the DVD, as he said, is about the same quality, if not worse quality than the version you see on the internet. The only spooky thing is the website, and there's no reason why he would not be able to post a link to a website that has a spooky video. So the fact that he did that and did not, usually you want to at least think of a way to explain why you cannot present the evidence if you cannot present the evidence. You got like right around that. I don't know if I like cut it out, but at some point I asked if they were ever going to explain why the kid found the video scary, because there's nothing scary about Hamoud the Habibi. It's not even like kind of creepy. It's just a kid dancing. I guess it's one of those things where it's like a kid theoretically could look at it and find the like low quality of it, and the fact that the lyrics are just complete nonsense to like an English speaker, or I guess the person's Spanish, like a Spanish speaker, someone who doesn't speak Arabic or whatever language it is. It might be a little unnerving, but they said the other videos in it are foreign too. So there's no reason why the Arabic one in particular would scare them more than anything else. or the fact that it's like bootleg, because they said all the other videos are like that. So I don't think that would be the case. It's, I mean, some kids just find things that are completely innocuous horrifying for whatever reason. But I feel like if you're gonna go with that route, at least try to explain why young kid found it scary. Like I thought it was scary because it was a little kid in a dark room and it seemed weird, and the kid looked uncanny or something like that. Not just, yeah, it was actually like traumatic for me, and I and not say why, because it's not something that I could see anyone being traumatized about. It's not like some, you're talking about like some spooky PSA that was going around at the time, and it was, like the like that one, like the wolf PSA where it's like the was it the whooping cough one or something like that? I think it's like a whooping cough like PSA. That one was kind of, yeah, I could, some, for example, like something spooky like that, some spooky piece of media that was going around that a kid could have been exposed to, that they would have found scary, and then going back and telling a scary story about it. Not something like Hamoud. That's something that everyone finds either funny or annoying. I don't know about the devil stuff. I think if you just, the devil stuff seems like it's only works if you ignore it in this story. But like her going to hell, she doesn't go to hell. I don't. I think even narratively, you're not supposed to believe that she went to hell, because from what we can tell, like the video is her playing with her dead baby, and the baby's dead. It did not come back to life. There was no demonic deal that went into play. The baby's rotten, so we can assume that what happened was she went crazy. Her baby had decayed because she kept it and believed that she could like bring it back to life with prayers or whatever. And I guess it does work in some way that you can the idea is that she believed that the whatever ritual she did worked. And the video is her like completely out of her mind, like she's reached like the pinnacle of her psychosis, believing that her child is back, and she's like playing around with it like, "Hey, look, my child's back. Here's a mood." Puppeteering around their little dead baby and singing, and she's really happy because she thinks her son's back, but it's not. She's gone completely insane. There's a possibility there's like some sort of narrative meaning to that, and that her going to hell is referencing the fact that her mind is completely lost to psychosis at that point. I guess I don't, I feel like I would just leave that part out, like the going to hell part. I would just say like she is convinced. Maybe even, I don't even think I'd make a demonic thing. I think I would say like cut out all the I hate God, God killed my baby, I'm going to the devil thing, because she's already delusional. Just make her like pray to God for her baby to come back, and she keeps praying to God, and then eventually she's convinced the prayers are. You don't even need the demonic stuff or the demonic ritual, because I feel like that doesn't really work if you're going to go with the route of it was all like insanity. You really only go with the demonic like pact route if you want to go with the whole like, monkey's paw kind of, I wished for something and then yeah, I got it, but at a cost kind of thing. Yeah, the one thing that really bothers me, the one thing that like really bothers me about this is they don't ever really go into why the funny animated video ever even exists, because as far as we know, the only explanation is someone saw the video of a psychotic woman playing with a rotting fetus and singing, and decided I should animate this, and like threw together an animated video of this like the dead fetus actually dancing. It was like, look everyone, look at this funny video, haha, and then it went like viral or something. Okay, let me see this. Hamoud, 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 my love, Hamoud, my love, Hamoud, my love, Hamoud, my love, Hamoud, Hamoud. Wake up from sleeping. Wake up from sleeping. Wake up from sleeping. It's an ad. What are y'all yapping about in literally Arabic? This was an ad about an energy pill slash drink. I think the video is only kind of creepy if you know the lyrics. I'm guessing there's like a current resurgence of the meme because people are only kind of just now figuring out what the lyrics are, and they think, oh, that's kind of spooky. It's like, wake up, wake up, wake up. The thing is, that's not really a reason for a kid to find it scary as a kid, unless the kid knows Arabic. or unless the video had subtitles, which I doubt it did. He never said that. We can't just assume things. But I think the fact that they're implying that somehow this like horrific video of a mom playing with her own like rotting fetus, somehow like someone saw that and decided to make a video out of it is like, it's a, like, no, who would do that? Like genuinely, who would do that and then like just throw it out there? Just upload it to YouTube. Like, haha, this is funny. I saw this like horrific shock thing and I'm just gonna make a funny video out of it. It's like, it would be like if someone tried to write a backstory to Nyan Cat where it's like, actually, uh, Nyan Cat is based on a video of someone murdering a cat and then like stapling a toaster on. Wait, hold on a second. Was unironically a creepypasta where they tried to like explain the origins of Nyan Cat by saying like it was like based on a video of it. Wasn't I? Wait, am I pulling that from a memory? Is that actually something I remember? Hold on. I gotta look up like Nyan Cat creepypastas now. Oh my god. Nyan Cat creepypasta. The Nyan Cat background story creepypasta. So you know that Nyan Cat, right? Little cat in a Pop Tart going through space with the most catchy song ever. Yeah, him. Well, there's a backside to that. When Nyan Cat first came out, the site Nyan.cat came out. It was the same idea, just the cat going through space. People got addicted to it. Eventually there was a timer to see how long you could do it. But one kid in particular claimed he could do it the longest without sleep. His name was Jim Shafe. If you're gonna make up a name, could you make like one that's easier to pronounce than Shafe? So he made the record of nyanning for 5 hours and 56 seconds. Many people tried, but only one beat it. Another guy named Michael Willis tried for the record. He nyanned for 8 hours straight. People saw it too. He sat there like a zombie, just staring at the cute little cat. But the next day after the record, he said, "There's something wrong with that cat." So John got intimidated and went for his best. He beat the record by a long shot. How he did so, no one knows. But he said he could have gone longer. But his reasoning of not was he kept his secret. But his close friend finally got it out of him. He said John claimed that on final minutes of his journey, he said the timer stopped at 666 minutes and 6.6 seconds. It was unbelievable. His close friend Matt went to see if it was true. The next day Matt went at it, but it was worse than he X. Wait, Nyan Cat, the alleged face of the evil Nyan Cat full size. Wow. I think I just shit myself. Holy shit, that's terrifying. That's like, he's like angry. He's like blushing. Just like, why is he blushing? It's terrifying. He's got like an M for a mouth. I don't know what the middle. I guess it's like like the classic like :3. You know, because like the cat mouth, but it's upside down, and they didn't take into account the fact that the line going from the nose to the mouth is like part of the cat snout, and it doesn't make sense when that part's flipped upside down. But actually, that's actually genius because it looks uncanny this way. It almost looks like he has mandibles, like he's like an insect, which is terrifying. For all we know, those red things aren't even like blush. Maybe that's like those like either his real eyes or a different set of eyes. There's some, maybe those aren't even eyebrows. Maybe those are antennae. This is a real work of art, right? This is amazing. It stopped perfectly 666 minutes and 6.6 seconds. But there was more. The cute little Nyan cat turned horrible. His face went blue and his eyes went red. Wait, whoa, wait. His eyes went red. Where does this person think the eyes on a cat typically are? Does he think that on the original Nyan Cat, like the blush is the eyes? What does he think the eyes are then? What does he think the eyes are? His eyes didn't turn red. His blush turned red. What does he think the eyes are then? With pictures of mutilated people that said they tried Nyan Cat. Then the song went to a horrible, dark pitch with the sound of people screaming in fear. Matt was absolutely shocked. He tried to sleep, but with no success. I like the idea of him just seeing this and immediately saying, I need to go to bed now. I need to go to bed right now. In his dreams, all he could see was the evil Nyan Cat's face, taunting him. And when he woke up, the song wouldn't get out of his head. So Matt ended it all with suicide by hanging himself. That's all it took. That's all it took. A spooky dream and a song stuck in his head. And he's like, yeah, that's it. I'm killing myself. The next day, like this face, spooky images, a bad dream, and a song stuck in his head. That was it. Suicide is the only answer. The next day, Michael and Jim were found in the same apartment, dead, with scratches on their abdomen that spelled out "No one succeeds." The scratches appeared to have come from a small cat. That's it. I've had this little game maker executable sitting in my downloads folder for about a year now. It's an application that I didn't remember very well since I have so many games choking my file manager as is. A terabyte of computer storage and a love for a certain fandom will do that to you. derpytoy_play.exe was the name of the file. Based on what I've seen throughout the gameplay, it was clearly either unfinished or made just as a test demo. Her character of focus is pretty self-explanatory, from the file name. Derpy Hooves from My Little Pony. Opening the game greets you to her, standing in a white-walled room with a cross-eyed expression, only accompanied with a colorful rug, a window with a sun, and a TV playing the same 2-second animation repeatedly. On the bottom of the screen are 2 arrows pointing left and right, and between those arrows is a caption meant to tell you what trinket you're currently using to entertain Derpy. Yeah, Derpy Hooves is like the name they gave to her because at first she just showed up as a background character and her eyes being like that was an animation error. And then they like actually like brought her into an episode because people like kind of memed her into existence as like an actual character where like she tried to fix something and like break stuff. And she's like, I just don't know what went wrong or something like that. I don't know if that was originally part of the meme or if the meme came from that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. When they did give her a name, they didn't go with Derpy Hooves because they decided that was like offensive because they thought it would be like, it was like making fun of her having a disability. Yeah, that's not her actual name. It's like Bubble something because her cutie mark is like Bubbles. I scrolled right and the game changed my cursor to a small shiny sphere. Upon clicking the unoccupied space next to Derpy, a bouncy ball would spontaneously appear, and she'd inch towards it, out of curiosity, occasionally poking it with her hoof, headbutting it to make it ricochet around the room, etc. If the ball hits her head, whether you picked it up manually or not, she'd let out a squeak. One was a popping fidget toy that she'd either poke, bite, or step on while laughing with glee. Another gave me a sort of Panic Pete-esque squeezable shaped like Fluttershy that she'd chew on. Every time she bit down, the little Fluttershy's eyes, mouth, and ears would pop out like a bread in a toaster. Not a bread, it just says bread. Hell, there was even a plush of Dinky that you could give her to cuddle up to and sleep with. I don't know who Dinky is. I thought I was an expert. Actually, I didn't even watch all the show. I stopped like a few seasons in. Even when I was like really into it, back when it was like huge. Dinky Doo is a placeholder name given to a Philly unicorn seen in several episodes engaging in activities with other foals. So she's kind of like a fan character too, I guess. That was all the tools I had to work with. The more I played, the weirder things got. First, I clicked right after giving her the Dinky plush, and it just disappeared along with Derpy. The room was devoid of life, silent as an empty museum. Like, you mean, I think you'd say silent like a mausoleum, not like a museum. I guess anything is going to be silent. I guess not anything, but most things are going to be silent if they're completely empty, right? Unless it's like some kind of thing where they have like, ventilation or some sort of machinery just constantly going. But usually if something's empty, it's going to be quiet. The television in this setting wasn't even making any noise. I thought this was a bug at first, so I clicked on the left arrow, then the right, again to see if something had failed to load in. Still nothing. Then I heard incoherent, loud yet familiar grunting noises, mixed with some guy quibbling over something. I couldn't make out what he was talking about at all since the audio was so faint, but what I could discern was a bump followed by a high pitched yelping. Afterwards, it just cuts off and replays until I continue. Next thing I saw was Derpy looking out of the window in her room, basking by the white light beaming through. I tried clicking around the room for something to happen, even clicking on Derpy herself to see if she'd respond to me somehow. Her upper body was lifting up and down from her breath, and she didn't do anything else besides that. The game did change my cursor like before when I clicked right. Every item I had placed down for her to interact with was rolled. Rolled no dice. That's not a phrase. I think you just mean no dice, no cigar, it didn't work. You don't say it rolled no dice. You don't say it rolled no, you just say it was no dice. It was no good, didn't work, no cigar. Bouncing the ball around the room, manually clicking on the pop. I keep thinking it says pooping toy, and that really throws me off. Manually clicking on the popping toy, no matter what attempt I put in, nothing made her turn around. Okay, that's actually kind of spooky. That actually looks pretty creepy. Like unironically, that's pretty unnerving. The game was broken, so I decided to get up and go to the kitchen for a drink, leaving the game to idle in my room. I thought maybe I'll figure out something when I sip on a beverage. That's when I heard those familiar sounds blaring out of the side speakers upstairs. The simple patterns of grunts, bickers, and yelps echoing over and over until it stopped again. Cherry flavored water in my hand. Cherry flavor? Does he mean like the my guess. My guess is he means the cherry flavored liquid death. That's some good stuff right there. The guy's got good taste. Sparkling water, really good. I came back into my room to see the game setting much more darkened than before. TV switched off, and Derpy lying on her side in a catatonic and stiffened state. It's like she was replaced with a It was like she was replaced with a statue of salt. Why salt? What? One, who makes statues out of salt? Two, why salt? She's not even like white. She's like a slightly dark gray color. I don't look at this and think, salt. Salt horse. That's a salt horse right there. She appeared to be squinting right at me, even with her crossed eyes. Her pupils were as glossy as marble, and her teeth were locked into an inconceivable broad smile. In fact, her smile was so broad that it wrinkled her fabric into a chaotic mess. So much that I wouldn't even understand what true emotion she was supposed to be expressing. Not to mention, part of the wall to her right was caved in, as if someone had slammed into it brick. As if someone had slammed into it back first? What hole are you talking about? Her face is wrinkled up quite a bit. I don't see any holes anywhere. Not where I'd immediately look at it and think, "Yep, someone went in there back first." I still don't understand the salt thing. Still, now I'm looking at it and I feel like even less. I feel like I understand the salt comment even less. Clicking on her did something. It made her flop down, her face thumping against the floor before promptly disappearing again. I smacked my desk and thought, "Damn you to hell!" Sure, thinking that this was another bug until I was suddenly barraged with an intensely vivid colors, and then the entire atmosphere became poorly drawn, with the exception of Derpy. The arrows faded to nothing. She wasn't catatonic anymore, Her entire body was lurching in what do you mean lurching in place? You mean like she was having a seizure? And instead of clenching really hard like in the last scene, her eyes and mouth were wide open. Her pupils were no longer sleek, but messy, like rough, thorny What the fuck are you talking about? Her lower jaw had surpassed her neck from how stretched it was. A whole mixture of sounds shot out of my speakers. A rising tone, a woman sputtering pure unintelligible burble, some sort of heavily corrupted theater song, possibly Italian. Clones of her, same face and all, popped up in different sections of the room, jerking and twitching. The babbling clatter would duplicate to a point where it felt as if I was in an angry mob. These are some weird choices of words. One last thing quickly faded into the center of my view. It was a man, folded up into a ball. He faced away from the camera, shivering in the midst of these twisted copies. His fingers gripped and tugged onto his hair, his opposite hand twitching over his back, clearly some sort of meltdown. The scene was abruptly cut off by a plain white screen, nothing returning to normal even after a moment of waiting. There was nothing to navigate with, therefore preventing me from trying anything else. No text, no buttons, nothing. The game was kind of annoying to me, if anything. It was incredibly loud, a little boring at the beginning, and just felt like something made to demonstrate tech software more than a game. Compared to everything else I have in my storage, I might actually trash this one. Definitely not my best work. Hey, my? Did you make it? Good God. There goes Miranda making all that racket in the living room for the 100th time. I'm so sick of her. I'm also thinking that this might be one of those cases of someone taking what is an actual either like video game or video and just writing out a transcript of what happens. Oh my effing God, I just clicked and I realized what was going on. There's already a fucking slapper when I didn't have the context of the ending, but it just got so much effing better when it hit me. I'm guessing maybe the thing is that Miranda was like, I don't know, like she's a person in the video. I don't know. Did they say that the person was a him? Yeah. Who's Miranda? Was done by Beta Brush 18. So who is La Fonda Pasta? Is that the person who made this? Yeah, in La Fonda's reading error. So if I look up Derpy Toy. So the explanation video is the person who wrote this reading their own story, and I'm guessing like explaining what it is. It's just kind of funny. Yeah, I don't get it. I think this person at the end saying, "Oh my gosh, this is so good, this is so smart," is like really throwing me off. I feel like I'm missing something. 'Cause the only like conclusion I can come to is that somehow what was happening in the game was like happening to his sister. And that's why she's like in the other room and she's like freaking out. Or it's possible that like she was playing the game and then the brother made it and he's going to delete it and it was like a random change of perspective that wasn't in any way talked about. I don't know, maybe at some point the perspective changed and it's supposed to be a different person. I think it's like one more story. Show you SpongeBobVideo.iso. Maybe the last one for today. It was about 14 days ago to today. A friend of mine has spiraled into activities that practically crumbled any innocent thoughts about cartoons altogether. Some very distressing things. I'll explain the story quickly as I can. She recently learned how to export digital ISOs from Starlight to DVD media. Her main focus was SpongeBob because she was super obsessed with it and never got to watch it much as a kid. We spent a lot of time working out how to download this and how to make sure what programs work and something about setup involving a DVD burner. But then she finds a website of these episodes online to download as ISOs, and this is part where everything turns. She went on telling me about a linked episode in the Season 2 category that intrigued her and said this. So each set list episodes go from SpongeBob Video SBS2 EP01.iso all the way to SpongeBob dash videos BS2 EP35.iso. But under that one was SpongeBob dash videos 2 EP35 underscore 2.iso, which I presumed originally was the second episode of episode 35 after Idiot Box Band Geeks. But I guess I'm wrong because SpongeBob Videos BS2 EP35.iso has both those episodes. Why is there two? Persuaded her that it was probably the same episode link just uploaded twice. A lot of websites like this can upload the same thing twice, mostly on accident. But that's what me and her thought before initially. And you're probably right. Still happy I get to watch these finally. I'm squeezing myself with joy. What the You're squeezing yourself with joy? Who says that? What country is it where people would say I am squeezing myself with joy? That sounds gross. I don't like that. It's gross. That's a gross. If you say that, you're gross. I'm just gonna that's I can confidently say that. It's a gross phrase. It's disgusting. That was the last message she sent you was squeezing herself with joy. That's not the way you want to be remembered. That's not what your last words should be. For going inactive for a fort unironically uses the word Fortnite, like as it's intended to be used. For a fortnight straight without giving any reason. There were no updates, no replies, no responses during that time being. And after all that, she finally wrote to me today with her little story of what transpired during that time. Sent 11:34 a.m. Hey, OP? I'm guessing it's like when like 4chaners will like tell a story and they'll like have people refer to them as Anon. I guess instead of Anon, it's OP. Hey, OP, I apologize for not getting back to you for so long, but I had to stay off the computer in fear of what happened. That link. That fucking second link left me in a state of paranoia I can't describe. It's almost undecipherable. And you're probably not going to believe me when I say this, but I'm dead serious from what I saw. After watching most of the SpongeBob episodes I missed out on, I decided to check out that extra link, and it downloaded an .iso that had an episode I'm scared going back detailing. It had that same happy intro, but there was no title card or episode name. It just started with the shots of SpongeBob's house. Sent 11:51 a.m. When SpongeBob did appear on the screen, he was just standing right in front of the door facing the screen, and he started talking like if he was speaking to me, but no dialogue came out at all. I heard happy music during this scene, and immediately out of nowhere, his face went from this super unnatural happy look, his jaw open, and his pupils shrunken down to dots. He just kind of jittered there with that fucked up face, and it gave me shivers. It went to a shot of him walking with that same look on his face. He was walking forward to the Krusty Krab, but going backwards? Question mark, question mark. Sent 12:04 p.m. It shown the inside of the Krusty Krab, but there was no character inside. No one was in there, but shots of tables, windows, and the kitchen. Then it was immediately assaulted with probably the most horrifying display of multiple Squidwards sitting at tables. Squidward's head up on the ceiling looking down at the screen with horrifying smiles with SpongeBob in the center joining with them. The other Squidward ran from left to right across the screen, smiling and looking at me like the others. SpongeBob was laughing like how he does in the show, but it was more forced and aggressive. Sound, if you could even call it that, come from them was like a guttural humming followed by music that played at a fast pitch. Then it just suddenly buffered on them, and they all disappeared again, like if they weren't even there. I'll get my thoughts on some of this when I'm done. I've found that like giving like with the first story, this gonna be such a nightmare to edit that part because I would like I just gave like thoughts and I would like, oh, but actually this might be better at this part, and I like repeated my thoughts. Oh, it's gonna be so hard to edit that first story because I was just so all over the place. Like that one part, there's a part where I tried to say like, okay, here's my theory about what I think is gonna happen with this story. I'm gonna like give a theory now and then like repeat it at the end, and that was a terrible idea. I might have to like go back and like just re-give my thoughts on that so it's more like understandable. So if you see a part where like if you're hearing this, then that means that I probably went back and like re-recorded that and just inserted that at that point, so it'd make more sense. Sent 12:19 p.m. The next scene had SpongeBob in a room with that damn smile, only slightly less terrifying, like cartoony happy, and just stopped dead center in the middle of the screen. He just stood there for 4 minutes, then out of nowhere his eyes just go green and it played the really sad mellow music. SpongeBob started speaking again, but in Patrick's voice. I couldn't tell what he was saying, but I definitely know it was Patrick's. After the music faded, SpongeBob's eyes faded to white and were replaced with cartoon X's, with that humming returned again as random shots of locations appeared again in quick succession, then it cut to black out of nowhere. Last thing I saw was a shot of both SpongeBob and Patrick in horrifying, skin-chilling detail. Some weird out of place music playing here with that image of SpongeBob smiling right at me and Patrick. I could not tell you how loud I screamed when I saw this frame. There were captions underneath them that read out, "In loving memory," of a name that was unrecognizable before it faded away and my PC just shut off after that. The image, that fucking image, I can't get it out of my head ever. Okay, so my thoughts on this are that some of these are, I think some, this one, I don't know. This one looks like an actual screenshot from like the show that they edited. But this looks like AI. This looks like AI. Like they asked like an AI to generate like SpongeBob tormented by Squidwards or something like that. Because the Squidwards look off, and it's just like distorted enough that this looks like something AI would generate. But this feels very AI. These look like 3D images. Would AI be able to properly replicate the words "in loving memory of" but then screw up on the bottom? This one might be like graphic design. They might have actually like taken models because I don't know if AI would be able to make SpongeBob and Patrick like this. It's possible. I have two theories. I'm thinking either this was made by AI. These are like AI generated images, or these are taken from something else. Maybe this is like judgmental. I don't feel like someone who writes like the writing in this story would be capable of creating imagery like this, because I feel like these images, in order to make these as they are, like to create these from scratch, would require a certain amount of knowledge of horror that I don't think is displayed in the actual story. Like the way the eyes are drawn, the way it's so chaotic. It doesn't seem like this is like a genuinely kind of creepy looking image. Like this Squidward right here, like you can't really see his teeth. That one looks particularly creepy. It's like chaotic enough, and it's like nonsensical. This looks like it's something that either is from like some YTP or this is AI. That'd be my guess. I feel like this is a bit too, because it's one of those stories where I feel like you can usually tell if something was made using outside material if the quality of the images included in the creepypasta outweighs the actual quality of the story. It's like that with the original Jeff the Killer story for one. Another might like the Rake to some extent. Maybe not the Rake. Rake story was kind of alright actually. And what was the third one I was thinking of? Eyeless Jack, I guess. Eyeless Jack is very basic. It's like a creepy image, but it's very basic. I'm pretty. We know Jeff the Killer was not. The story wasn't written by the person who made the image, because the original image apparently came from Japan. But the only reason why people found the Jeff the Killer story scary was because of the picture. I mean, people don't really remember the actual story because it was like some kid had bullies and he went crazy and started killing people. I mean, I guess the way it's like how he got his face look like that was kind of iconic, but the rest of it pretty bad. This one I get the same vibes of this. The pictures outweigh the quality of the story, so I don't think they made it. It's like that they took these images and then they just tried to write a story based around it. What about this? HP Girls 2013. Okay, we have like one. We can do one more. We can do one more. We can do one more. HP Girls 2013 DJ Digi Dream Remix was a video originally uploaded to YouTube on the 5th of June 2013. The video itself shows nothing out of the blue, a pop-oriented music mix complemented by adorable anime characters in front of an HP desktop background. The characters are predominantly featured are Chio, total Chio death by the way, and Osaka, both beloved figures from the Azumanga Daioh franchise. I remember watching the video many years ago and wanted to see if I could find it again, so I tasked myself with using Google's search by date engine and using very specific keywords, though nothing really came up. I tried using Microsoft Bing, also nothing. I finally settled on using DuckDuckGo's search by date and found it just by a long shot. I felt warmly nostalgic and admittedly a little homesick by the video. Sending the video to my friends and going about my day. Then I started receiving back those messages. Dude, WTF, was that like some kind of joke? Nice effort on giving me a fucking heart attack, prick. I feel ill, are you fucking crazy? Each message I got collectively were all negative because of the video I sent. I revisited the video today and quickly skimmed through it, which near the end the audio and video got all fucked up. A wave of nausea hit me when Chio's face suddenly appeared in the center of the screen for a couple seconds. Her head jerked violently in various directions, and then her face contorted and changed in a horrifying manner, giggling at me. A quivering Osaka appeared on the screen, her expression a haunting mix of terror and unnerving smile. Her face began to twist and contort in an unnatural manner, as if she were grinning at something unseen in the dark. The video froze, leaving me staring at the grotesque image. A chill ran down my spine and I couldn't help but shiver at the eerie sight. The video concluded with a guttural, deep scream that echoed in my ears, leaving me feeling profoundly disturbed and physically ill. Moments before the video ended, I noticed a series of binary text in green briefly appeared on the screen. There is nothing out there, only yourself. Pray that in the rain that you don't fall ill to Akurojin no Hi's touch. What, like he is like day. Akuro. Rough road. Bad, yeah, the only definition I'm getting of Akuro, oh, villain, could also mean dark. Dark indigo tinged with brighter blue. Bad, okay, Akurojin, I forgot Jin. Wicked person. Akurojin no Hi means like day of the villain, like day of the wicked person, or day of the dark-skinned person's, the day of the dark-skinned person's touch. A week later, the video had been removed due to YouTube's guidelines, likely for violating their content policies. However, it seems that re-uploads of the alleged Screamer video have started to resurface, with one user sharing the disturbing content again. We actually get a video here. Alright. About to mute this. I should be fine, right? I'm not monetizing any of my stuff, so who cares? What a great video. What an amazing work of art. How long is this? This is long. I'm not watching this whole thing. Here we go, here we go. It's not even binary. That's not binary. Wait, that's not binary. What are you talking about? That's not binary. Yeah, those are just random numbers. That's not binary. There's not. It's not just ones and zeros. It's not binary. There's so many ones, not enough zeros for it to be binary. I don't think this is binary. I don't know. This isn't even like hexadecimal. This is like just a bunch of numbers. Is this actually like a 2013 thing? Because this does feel like something that someone in 2013 might think is scary, but I don't see this face as anything but hilarious. Especially when it's Azumanga Dayo. I cannot take this seriously. But yeah, that was the like one of the best things on the site, I guess, apparently. Chio and her contorted face bordered between goofy and uncanny for me. Given how long it is, the person probably just watched the first part of it and never watched the end. Maybe they like even as a kid they just never watched the full video and then like they sent it to friends and for some reason all of them watched the full video. I don't think that'd be. I don't believe that's the thing. I think is the most unbelievable. If I send a video to a friend, odds are they're not watching it, let alone the entire video. If it's just Azumanga Daioh characters in front of a Windows background with music playing in the background, they would watch the first 10 seconds, and be like, "Yep, I get it. Thanks. That's pretty neat," or just not say anything. I don't think you're gonna have a 100% rate of people watching a video like that till the end. I just don't think it's gonna happen. That's the most unreasonable, unlikely, crazy thing. Also, why would this be taken down? The only reason I can think of this being taken down would be like copyright. I don't know. Whatever. Um. Uh. So that's. I think we're gonna end it there. That's gonna be it for today.